Good evening, folks. And tonight, it's going to be a little different because we're going to talk about minimum wage. Okay? Certain liberal groups out there want to raise minimum wage. Now, I'm going to read it from my paper. I'm from Ohio, obviously. Now, it spooks me that they would actually do this in our state. I mean, yeah, the Democrats have a perfect plan. They see the writing on the wall right now. This is literally what it has come down to. And I'm literally scared to death right now. The Democrats already scared themselves, so they are building up a plan of their own. Trying to make a $15 an hour plan. Yeah, that seems like a great idea. I get their plan, but there's more to it than just $15. Yeah, unions are all for yes, but restaurants and smaller businesses are no. Why? First off, let's cut down to the chase. What is the minimum wage even for? What does the proposed amendment do? Well, January 1st, if it passes, let's hope it doesn't. As of January 1st, 2025, because right now it's 10:45. We'll talk about what minimum wage is right now in Ohio. In 2006, voters approved a constitutional amendment that ties Ohio's minimum wage to inflation. That means in 2024, state minimum wage for non-tipped workers is $10.45 an hour. For tipped workers, it's $5.25 an hour. Full time is at $10.45 an hour. Works out to be $21,736 per year. Now, that's really not a lot of money. I mean, if you work at it, maybe like a few times per year, but if you live at your parents' house, maybe like for a little bit, if you live at home maybe for a little bit and everything, you might be able to live off of that. But that's just like a little bit of time. And then you have employees with gross annual revenues of less than $385,000 can pay the federal minimum wage of $725 an hour. That's currently what goes on. Actually, let me reread that. Employees with gross annual revenues of less than $385,000. Yeah, I did read that right. Excuse me. I'm losing it. But other than that, I got it all correct. Now, what does the raise the wage want? Okay, that's the group that's trying to push for this. They're already part of a national effort trying to do that. Abolitionists are trying to put it on Ohio, Michigan, Massachusetts, and Arizona. And that's what they're trying to pull off. They're trying to do fair wages, services for employees with unions and benefits, pretty much, is what they're trying to pull. Now, what does this mean for them? Well, January 1st, 2025, it'll move up to $12.75 an hour. Then $15 January 1st. Then it'll move up to January 1st, it'll move up to $15 in 2026. After that, annual increase will be tied to inflation. Tipped workers would earn the full minimum wage starting January 1st of $29 plus whatever they make in tips. So, that's a pretty good, sounds like a fair trade, right? So you make good money, make $15 an hour, plus the tip you make. Only one problem with that. Everyone gets rich, right? Only one problem with that. It's the restaurant industry. The Restaurant Trade Association argues that eliminating the non-tipped wage would hurt small businesses and drive up the cost of eating out. No tipped wage in Ohio would result in more closures of restaurants, bars, breweries, food trucks, and other hospitality businesses across the state. The Alliance says it's on its website, Ohio is home to 23,000 bars and restaurants that employs 520,000 workers. So, 8 in 10 restaurant owners oppose the constitutional amendment. Good to hear. To a poll conducted in 2023, 1 in 5 say they already pay a starting wage of more than $15 an hour, which I figured some would even pay more than $15. Nationally tipped restaurant workers earn an average of $27 an hour, according to National Restaurant Association. So, what's the point trying to raise minimum wage if other restaurants make more than $15 an hour? I mean, what's up with that? Now, we just gotta see how this will work out. I mean, it's totally up to them what they want to do. I mean, plus the non-tip minimum wage set the year. The constitutional amendment would also repeal sections that allow employers to pay sub-minimum wages for workers with disabilities, and allow them to pay the lower federal minimum wage to workers under the age of 16, raise the wage. Ohio said that 1.4 million workers would be impacted. Not so fast. Yeah, a lot of people would be impacted. Only one problem. What about the people in the fire service? People who don't have the compatibility to pay that much. People who are underpaid, who can't afford that. I mean, we're talking like literally $13,000 here. Not necessarily $13,000. We're talking like people who can make less than that, but why do you want to raise minimum wage because you're so desperate? Starting jobs were not meant to be full-time jobs your whole life, people. I didn't know working at McDonald's was going to be like my lifetime job. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I am actually going to do something. I'm actually going to try to become a referee. I literally want to be a referee as well with my other minimum wage job. I'm a custodian. I get paid minimum wage. I don't like it. I don't like any of it. I'm going to try to do everything I can to become a referee. And then I'm going to try to figure out what I can do from there. I mean, don't get me wrong. This life is BS. I don't like it. I don't like the way I get paid. I hate every bit of it. But if you're going to vote for this, if you're going to go vote for a $15 minimum wage hike, then you're going out the door. You're walking down the wrong path because you're voting to close smaller businesses that don't have enough, that are trying to help other people, voting for closed big, small trucks. You're just closing the door for them and opening the door for hell And it's a big war zone. So good luck trying to help people that don't really know what they're doing. Look it over carefully, is all I'm trying to say. Because minimum wage hike is not going to help us. It's just going to dig us a deeper hole. Prices will go through the roof. Food prices will go through the roof when we dine out, so they can meet the standards of them. The inflation rate will be worse than it already is. This is what the Democrats' plan is. As I was saying earlier, the Democrats' plan is this. When Trump gets elected, this gets voted on in March, if it happens. I'm not saying it will, if it happens. I mean, not March, but in November, if it happens. Trump gets elected. Then Trump is in office. And then when all these stores start closing, guess who they're going to blame? Trump. They're going to blame it all on Trump. But no. This is exactly how they're going to do it. $15 an hour. Raise it $15 an hour. Then the private business section is going to close. And who are they going to blame them? Trump. The private business section is going to be closed. All because they raised the minimum wage so high that the small businesses can't afford to pay their employees. It's just going to go high. And lo and behold, bye. You don't belong. You don't get anything. You get nothing. Absolutely nothing. All these dick flutes try to think they can get it away with it. Must be living underneath the rock if they think if this this state is gonna stride by doing that. Because it isn't. Same with the country. I mean, California is already struggling right now. I mean, just go out and vote no if enough signatures are collected. Don't even let it on the ballot. Well, I got a lot of things I gotta take care of. Hit the like bell. And hit the button for notifications. With that being said, I'm out of here. Peace.